Hello everyone, this is Binary Polar Bear and welcome to my new audio blogs. I've decided to move my blogs to audio just because my life has gotten to the point where I can't sit down for multiple hours and write out a blog. And as obviously as you've seen if you are a regular to my site, it's been 2 months since I've updated my blog. And that's I don't really feel as acceptable, at least from my standpoint, especially if you are a regular and you want to see my progress as a person. It's best to keep this up at least, hopefully once a week or once every other week. Anyways, if you're new here, hello, I am the binary polar bear. Some know me as Renee. I keep up a blog site called 2 is the Strangest Number. I have been diagnosed with bipolar 2, and I also have a comorbidity diagnosis of ADHD, which was pretty recent. I started the blog probably earlier this year just to, I guess, put myself out there just as a way for people who have bipolar to feel that they're not alone, to be able to relate, to be able to hopefully share with me, and also share with your friends or family or people that may or may not understand bipolar, to really just be able to understand and know that you're not the only one out there. Mental disabilities and I guess you could say limitations can really make one feel isolated and confused and scared, and it can just be one of those things that really can get to you over time. And it's always nice to know that you're not the only one out there, that you also share the same symptoms and feelings and struggles as other people who have the same thing. And it's also nice to be able to give a resource to people who don't suffer from a mental disability, but are curious and want to be able to support a family member or a friend or a loved one. And that's kind of why I put myself out here. So if you are new, welcome. If you're a regular, thank you for following me here. I do apologize for not keeping up as consistently as I would like to. But hopefully now these audio blogs will be able to enable me to post regularly and not have to spend so much time doing so. So hello, welcome to our first audio blog. I have decided to call these polar side chats. If you don't know, way back in the day, I think it's World War II. Franklin D. Roosevelt used to have fireside chats, and all Americans would tune in to the radio, sit by the fireside, which the radio happened to be next to, and they would listen to him talk. So I've decided to call these polar side chats. So anyways, I will continue on to where I left off. I think I haven't posted since June, and since then, I have gotten off my Trileptal. I'm on my Depakote. I hit maximum dose probably about 2-3 weeks ago. I'm on 125 milligrams. Let me look at my bottle here. I'm technically on Devalproex sodium DR, 125 milligrams. And like I had stated in my past blog, I was going to write down the drug profiles for several of the drugs that had been recommended to me. I think it was Depakote, Abilify, Seroquel, and there was one other I can't really remember. I'm going to have to look back to my other blog. But I think that's where I'm going to keep my blog up in that area. So, it's kind of hard to come back and keep re-listening to an audio over and over again to get information. I'm just going to post that information on my blog so you can have a reference for these drugs, and you can look it up and get information for yourself. And also I'll put, if I have any articles that I find interesting, I'll also post that on my blog, just so you have that reference there and you don't have to keep coming back to this audio and kind of scroll through and try to figure out where I had said that. So I've been on Depakote, max dose, again was like about 2-3 weeks ago. Gosh, it's amazing. Just summarizing from the Trileptal was not doing much at all. It was maybe kind of got me halfway there. Um, I think the most intense symptom I can describe, I don't know if any of you can relate, it's almost um, your brain is being split in half. It's really hard to explain. You feel foggy, you feel unfocused, you feel irritable. Um, that's for me. That's one of the worst feelings. I hate feeling unfocused. I hate feeling like I can't. Um, I guess the best way to describe it is that you're trying to watch two movie screens at once, and it's really hard to focus on both. You know, you're trying to watch both. You see both, or you're hearing both the audio from both of those. And it's like trying to process both those things at one time. And you almost wish that those two movies would merge together so you can just focus on one. That was the most frustrating thing for me. Being on the trileptal, it just wasn't focusing me at all. I felt irritable, depressed, tired. Um, it's that lethargy that just feels like the gravity is pulling you to the bed. It's like that black hole that's just sucking you in, and you think, you postpone almost everything. It's like, oh, I gotta get up and go to work, but I'll have 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes. I don't need to go to work today. Or I got stuff to do, or my best friend wants to hang out today. I don't, we can hang out another day. I don't feel like hanging out today. And then those negative thoughts that I think the biggest negative thoughts I struggle with are self-depreciation, where you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not intelligent enough, you can't do it. You are limited. You'll never be as good as what you want to be, or you'll never achieve what somebody else will. And those are so hard to battle when you're already struggling with the depressive side of bipolar, and your medication's only kind of halfway working. When your medication's halfway working, you're like, well, okay. So the Depakote has been fantastic. Just within the first week, I definitely felt more energized. I felt happier. I feel more positive. I feel definitely a brighter side to life. It's amazing how differently you can see the world when your brain is chemically balanced. Instead of everything as a risk or fear or something that's going out to attack you, you just feel, gosh, look, I can hurdle this jump. I've got my sword and my shield, and I can just go for it. Nothing's gonna stop me. And if I make a mistake, well, then you know what? That's me learning, and I'm just gonna be better because I made that mistake, and I'm gonna go out and do it. And that's I think that's the biggest thing I really appreciate with this medication, is it deals with that negative thought and depressive side, and it keeps me pretty balanced. Usually, off medication, if you're remembering from past experiences, gosh, my emotional level was all over the place. I'd be happy to negative, to, gosh, just giddy and excited to just a slug, all in a day, and it was just exhausting. I'd go through so many emotions in one day, and it's nice being balanced. I can finally be like, well, that's like, definitely this week was difficult with work. I mean, I'll bring that up as an example. I just was having so much negative feedback from my applicants, and it was mostly about things I could not control, and it was just super frustrating. And I was trying everything within my power to make sure that, even so, it was something I couldn't control. I was trying my best to um, correct the things that were under my control, and I was still getting such negative feedback. And at first, it's when it first hits me, I'm always like, ah, man, I feel horrible. I feel bad. I don't know what to do. What do I say? I could have handled that better. Why couldn't I have handled that better? And then as time goes on, I've started to feel like, well, that wasn't something I could control. That's it's well, let me list things I can control. Well, these are the things I control. I'm going to go fix that. And if that doesn't work, then I'm going to email my boss, which I did, and he pretty much was like, well, you've done what you can do, and that's the best you can do. So now with the medication, those things don't upset me as much. I tend to level out. I tend to see rationally. I tend to be more positive about a situation. That's the one thing that I really do appreciate about the medication also. And also energy. I've been noticing lately I've been tired, but it's because I've been staying up late. So, I mean, I'll get around to it, but I was talking, I've been or I'd blogged about the natural therapist that I had been seeing, and she suggested more sleep, which I do suggest. Sleep is a magical thing. I was a nursing student for 4 years. I don't know if I've mentioned that at all. Um, and it's amazing what sleep can do for patients. It came up regularly in studies. It's one of the number one healing things. So I've been trying to be better about going to bed. For me, I'm an 8-hour sleeper. If I don't get 8 hours, I can't function. I'm tired. I'm irritable, and that's without my or that's not including everything else. My symptoms of bipolar and with medication. So I've been trying to go to bed at least 9, so I can wake up at 6. Most of my appointments are at 7 a.m., so I get up at 5. So for me, sleep is definitely critical. So for me, Depakote has been fantastic. I'm so grateful because being off Lamictal was so disappointing. I was thriving on Lamictal by leaps and bounds. It was a phenomenal medicine. If you have bipolar 2 and you have not tried Lamictal and nothing else is working for you, I suggest it. The reason I had to get off, though, again, if you haven't been reading my blog, is I got meningitis from it. It's a very, very, very rare side effect. It just got put on the black box for that medication in 2011. So it's a pretty recent discovery for that medication. But after being off Lamictal and having the Trileptal be such an anticlimax to what I had been functioning at, just being on the Depakote is such a relief. I'm so happy. It's definitely, it's getting me back. It's not perfect. It's not like the way I was in Lamictal, but it is definitely rivaling up there. I think the reason that it doesn't match Lamictal is because I was talking to my natural therapist, and she said that Lamictal is a very good drug for both bipolar, and it takes care of the symptoms of ADHD. So I think that's why Lamictal just put me up there to the very top. Depakote, I don't think it really addresses that as much. I had talked to my regular therapist about it, or my psychiatrist, and she said that I could take another medication for my ADHD, but because I handle it so well, I have such good coping mechanisms, she doesn't feel comfortable putting me on more medications. So if it does get to the point where I need to be medicated, then she's gonna think about it. But for now, I'm functioning great on Depakote, and that's better than anything I could expect. So anyways, on to my next point here. I think I kind of covered it already, but like I said, I've just been feeling more positive about myself, about life, about people. Again, it's amazing what happens when you find that right drug that makes you feel happy. I'm feeling better about myself, more confident about myself. Um, I I've always struggled with being overweight. I've always struggled with being depressed and being negative, and um, just being able to conquer that and be like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna work better on being happy about my self-image, and if I'm not happy about it, I'm gonna go do something about it. Um, I have been swimming, not as regular as I'd like to, but I do go to aquatics classes, which are like Tuesday and Thursday. I want to get back to doing swimming an hour every day. I was doing that before I started aquatics, and then my laziness kicked in. I was like, oh, I'll just do aquatics 2 times a day, whatever, or 2 times a week, and that kind of nipped me in the bud. So I've kind of made a compromise, and I'm going to start doing a half hour the days that I don't do aquatics, and so at least I'll get my exercise in, and I know for a fact exercise makes me feel positive about myself, makes me feel great. I just feel like such a better person when I do that. So on to my next point here. Well, I kind of covered work already. So work, it's interesting because this is finally like my first big kid job. I really enjoy it, but it being a big kid job, there's a lot of challenges that you have to deal with, and customer service is always a tricky one. The customer is always right, but sometimes in cases they're really not, but you just kind of got to roll with it and let it roll off your back. And I try to just tell myself it's because they haven't had their coffee. I don't know if I've mentioned this. I'm a multiple phlebotomist, so when I do take blood, it's mostly people are fasting, and most you'd be surprised the majority of Americans who thrive off of coffee in the morning when they haven't had their coffee would they're pretty miserable. I will give you that. Um, so work, I love work. It's part time, but it's definitely picked up. But I do want to find another job to supplement my income. My goals are to move out of my parents' house. I had to move back in with them twice. I've moved out twice and moved back in, and so it would be nice to find another job. I'm just kind of putting in my 6 months for phlebotomy, so I can start applying to better jobs. Most places won't take phlebotomists under 6 months or under a year. So probably about in October, I'm going to be applying like nobody's business and hopefully get a better job to supplement better income, move out, be more independent, get moving on with my life. That's exciting to me. I'm just talking about it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited about that. But just putting in the time is, gosh, it's taken forever. My goodness. At least for me, I feel like I'm just trudging through the tar pits, La Brea tar pits is what it feels like. So, uh, going back to my therapist, I was seeing my natural therapist, and there's definitely been a couple of things that she has had me do to help with my medication, because medications are great, but I was raised by a clinical nutritionist, and I feel that there's always a really good balance between pharmaceutical medications and nutrition. And you need both. It's almost kind of like running a car. I feel like the medication is the car, but you can't run the car without gasoline or oil. If you run it without oil, your car's just gonna burn up and explode from overheating, and that your radiator, and nothing's gonna run smoothly. And if you don't have gas, you're not going anywhere. So I feel like the nutrition part is that gas and oil, and the medications is the car. You have the mechanics, and you have the things that give you that ability to go somewhere. So she suggested taking more fish oil and prenatal vitamins, and eating better, and exercising. So, like I said, I have been exercising mostly because I've been feeling more positive and wanting to improve that image. But the fish oil I will tell you guys this, it's great. Like, I know the medications helps keep me emotionally stable, but that fish oil, gosh, I can tell the days I don't take it because I will snap on a dime, and at least the medication keeps me from being on that rampage for longer than couple minutes. But that fish oil totally chills me out. I'll be like, okay, everything's good. I'm a little distressed, but I can handle this. And so the fish oil really helps me out with that. Prenatals are great too. They really give me that extra nutrition that I don't have, or I don't eat as well as I should. But I guess because I do live with my parents and my mom's a nutritionist, it really helps me. It's almost kind of like a free ticket because she'll bring a lot of nice good things to eat home, so I can just rummage through the cupboard and know most of the things in there aren't nutritionally depraved. But again, I eat out, I go places with my best friends. I don't always eat the best. So prenatal vitamins are really help with that. It's made my hair stronger. I know I was telling you with the trileptal, my hair was falling out. So not only has it made my hair stronger, better, grow faster, my nails aren't, gosh, my nails used to peel like nobody's business. Always, just chipping and breaking, just to the point where my nail beds were short and I'd be bleeding all the time. It was bad. So that's definitely improvement, and I feel like that's always good to have those ingredients to make my car run, is the analogy I used. My social life has been fantastic. I'm starting to put myself out there more. I kind of send this is a great website, by the way, if you guys ever need just like, hey, I want to meet up with people. Who are people who have the same interests as I do? Meetup.com is amazing. They got all sorts of things you can do there. I signed up for like a hiking group. I haven't gone to any of theirs yet, but I'm going to. I just haven't been able to have the time, or it just hasn't been what I've wanted to hike. I'm not like a hardcore hiker. I don't want to die when I'm on. I don't like being a hot, sweaty mess. That's not my deal there. Um, so eventually I'm going to go to, but there's everything there from what I've signed up to dancing to crafting to literature to art. God, there's everything on there. Go do it. If you need a social group, go do it. It's great. I love it. Um, so I've signed up for that. I actually want to find a salsa class because I love salsa dancing. I mean, that's one of my favorite things. Um, but I've been hang out with my best friend. She's been way too much fun. Um, we just go out and do things, eat, watch movies, bake, cook. Um, that's probably when I'm not working, I'm hanging out with her, and if I'm not hanging out with her, I'm cleaning or doing chores or just getting little knickknacks done. Sometimes I do get lost on the YouTube, I will admit. That is definitely a weakness of mine. Um, but I feel that now that I'm feeling more positive, um, I'm ready to really try to go out there and make new friends and have a social life. That kind of goes back to my job. My job it's like almost independent contracting. I don't physically see my boss. I don't physically see my coworkers at all. I've never met them face to face. I hear them on the phone frequently, but I've never met them face to face. And that's where I feel like I lack that social support that I'd really need. And that's where I'm going to have to go out and search for it and make new friends and meet new people. And now I'm feeling more positive and less scared and just less introverted. I'm ready to go out there and meet people and expand my knowledge and appreciate more of what people have to offer that can contribute to my life. Um, and I mean, who you can never have enough friends. Well, there's always an exception to that, but you can never have enough good friends or good people that you can support in your life. Lastly, I've been trying the dating scene. Hasn't been as successful as I want it to be. Um, but again, it's one of those things where you just kind of gotta keep trying until you hit what you want. So I'll get there eventually. I'll figure it out. But if I do get any exciting news, y'all will be the first to hear about it. Well, hi, my bestie. She'd be furious if you guys found out before her. Um, but anyways, that's kind of all I really have to update you guys on. I know that was definitely longer than 10 minutes. But it is an introductory chat, and so I kind of had to have that covered. I got to cover 2 months of this. So I guess that's kind of makes up for it, like 22 minutes. Well, it'll end up probably being 25 minutes by the time I wrap up. So that kind of counts for two, right? So do feel free to contact me at bipolarbear@gmail.com. If you have any questions or you want to suggest me to talk about anything, I know I've been talking about putting up that interview with my family member. I think I'm going to actually write it and put it down on my blog. Just because I had recorded it, but I feel like there's just some bits that could be refined or condensed so you guys can get the picture of what's going on. So again, I love your feedback. I do appreciate those who do read my blog and are following me here. It makes me feel good, I guess you could say, knowing that I'm making a difference and people are interested and um, just putting this out there, and hopefully it would be nice to be part of maybe a bipolar community. Bipolar community. Um, I thought I had said binary polar bear. Bipolar community. Um, just so you can never have enough awareness, acceptance, and acknowledgement of mental disabilities. I think that's the main goal. Same as equality for everyone. It literally includes everyone, not just those who are considered normal, quote unquote, because who is ever really normal? So again, I hope you guys have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, whenever you're listening to this. Again, give me some feedback, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of the day. Until we chat again, goodbye.